Hey, everybody. Hey, this is Kisa. I am Coach K, Kisa Sharp, and I am the life change strategist. What does that mean, you ask? I'm so glad you did, because basically it means that I help you actually sort out change in your life, in your relationships, and in your career. I'm calling this the reintroduction because, oftentimes when we go in several different spaces, you really have to carve out your niche in the marketplace. And if you're going to show up in a certain space, you need to make sure that people really understand what you're doing. So, I've done a couple of different things. And listen, I'll be honest with you. We can be blessed and talented in many different areas, but the key to success and the key to really carving out your niche and really being profitable in that arena, I believe, is the law of focus. And that's the little doggy right there. She's sitting right behind me, in case you're wondering what that movement is right there. She happened to just move into my shop, but I refuse to do this over again. So she's just going to have to be the star of the show back there. That's Lexi. But anyway, um, it's about focus at this point. So, like I said, we can be doing a lot of different things. But as I closed out the year and as I started 2024, closed out 2023, started 2024, one of the things that was laid on my heart is to get back into this coaching space, because we are in a situation, everyone, where we really need to talk about some things. So I thought it'd be a great idea to let you know how I'm going to show up in 2023. Okay. One of the 2024, this is 2024, not 2023. That's beyond me. Can't do anything about that. That's behind me. So how am I going to show up in 2024? One of the first things that you're going to notice about me, I've made much ado about this, but it's because people are making much ado about this. Some of you are making much ado about this. And this is the arena that for lack of a better word, that I specialize in. I specialize in change. I specialize in helping people navigate new terrain. And one of the areas that I'm dealing with, and will fervently deal with this year, is relationships. Relationships, dating, what are the changes we're seeing, how to navigate those changes. That's my arena. That's my arena. Navigating change. Change is my jam. Okay. So that's what you'll see from me this year. And I really felt compelled to get back into the space. I'll tell you the story. I'm a twice certified life coach, so I've been a life coach, and one of the things that I really touched on a lot was really just the whole issue of change, right? But here's what I've determined, that right before I ended up going on sort of a break from social media at the first of the year, I remember getting into some conversations and seeing a lot of chatter on in the social media space about dating, about relationships, about how things have changed, about how men are not asking women out on dates, about how women are being the aggressors, about the different expectations that men have of women and that women have of men, different classes and titles that we were applying to one another, and just this general idea that not only is dating and connecting with one another, to even consider whether there will be a dating relationship, but one of the deals is that it's just challenging to even come together. So for me as a content creator, and for me as a communicator, and for me as a life coach, the social media space is wonderful because it allows me to, and all creators and creatives know this. Entrepreneurs know this. It is a great space, and it really evens the playing field when it comes to getting your message out there. Back in the day when we used to have to advertise or get traction, unless in, especially in the life coaching space, if you weren't a Tony Robbins or some of these other big names, Les Brown, I mean, how would you compete? How do you get the customers? You just had to kind of, and if I were to interview them and ask them their track, it probably is just, they just went to speaking engagements and believed, and just built their way up, like literally climbed their way up the ladder. Well, social media really levels the playing field. So rather than you really having to bootstrap your way up to the top, you can put a message out there. You can shoot a video and go viral. So the playing field has changed. So it is a great space as it relates to being in for the creatives and for the entrepreneur and those who really are selling more intellectual property and the things that they know. What I am finding with social media, though, is the flip side of that is it has caused us to regress, or it's caused us to go into foreign territory as it relates to dating, a space we've never been before. Because see, back in the day when said gentleman wanted to date said young lady, he would have to go to the young lady's house. He'd have to make sure the parents were okay with him. He'd have to go sit on the parents' sofa and, get to know her with dad in the other room or mom and the siblings in the other room. And it's morphed from having to do that to, well, we'll just go and Netflix and chill and we'll get to know each other that way in the privacy of our own homes. And it's morphed from that now to, we're not even doing that part. We're going to get on social media. I'm going to jump in your DM. I'm going to send you a quick message and I'll determine from the message, I'll determine from your Instagram photos, I'll determine from your Facebook photos, I'll determine from your pictures, if you're somebody that I really want to be interested in. And if not, no worries. I'm going to keep scrolling because there are a million and one pretty pictures on here. And I'm going to go after what gets my attention. Sounds great at the outset, but we're missing something that is so basic, and that's just connecting. That's just sitting down and having a cup of coffee, because although you may be visually attracted to someone, that's not the basis really and truly of a healthy relationship. It's really not the basis of that. Yeah, the person who looks a certain way, you may think, "Man, she's fine." "Dang, girl, he's fine." But at the end of the day, it's really about, can you make a life with that person? There's no way that a photo that you pull up on Instagram on your phone will be able to tell you that. It cannot tell you that. So therein lies the problem. It's this idea that I really don't have to know you. I just really need to like how you look and I can communicate with you. And really we become really lazy. If we really want to say that, we become lazy because it required an effort in the past. It required a chivalry in the past. It required a gentleman come pick you up. It required a gentleman at least feign interest or fake interest in you by taking you out on a date. And although he may not have to spend $200, which is what I'm hearing these young ladies say now, that a good date would involve someone spending around 200 or $200 or more. And although it may not have involved him spending in the past the $200, but it wouldn't be out off the table for him to take you out to have a good meal. That was not off the table, or to have to have breakfast, or et cetera, et cetera. Well, now, social media, I don't need to do that. We can have a couple of conversations and we'll be fine. Or instead of me taking you out, let me come to your place. Or why don't you come to my place, and we can kind of Netflix and chill, watch a movie and sit here and watch the movie, which if you're two fully grown adults, how long does Netflix and chill really last? How many times are you going to do that? So you really aren't even connecting there. But I mean, you could say it's face-to-face interaction, but you're really not connecting there because you really aren't having any conversation. You're being entertained by a movie. But again, being two grown adults, how long does that last? That you sit there before you start to explore other things, conversation, and maybe even physically get involved in a relationship. Okay, you're grown, you can do what you want to do. I'm just saying things have changed. Long story short, because things have changed, I want to interject. I am compelled to interject in the space and be a voice of reason. I'm not gonna back away from it anymore. I'm not gonna hold what I have or be shy because we really are in now. I wouldn't say crisis. I think it's just change. And I think we have to learn how to navigate change. That's what I would say. I would say, it's not bad or anything like that per se. It's just change. But some people are really starting to feel hopeless. And some people are really starting to feel like, will I ever really get married? Is this really on the table for me? So I am compelled as a life change strategist to get in this space and to help you navigate. It's not good. Remember this, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just change. It's just different. So, how do you navigate that? Because here's what I will tell you, ladies. And listen, I firmly understand that I'm called to ladies. My guy friends, perhaps you'll get something out of it too. I'm not negating that. I'm not discounting that, but I firmly understand that I am called to women because I know how to be a woman. And I say that understanding that I'm a woman, and I say that understanding that that's not necessarily a given in 2024. Okay. I'm talking about I understand what it takes to be a full grown woman. Okay. And I believe that it is important with all of the junk that I'm seeing, and I'll call it what it is, all of the junk, all of the trash that's out there, all of the misinformation, all of the misguided social media influencers, all of the people who are interjecting in this space, and we're reading it, we're scrolling through, and a funny thing is happening. It's imprinting on our brains. It's imprinting. And so I'll give you an example. Recently I saw it even made the national news about these young ladies compiling a list of where not to take us on the first date. Don't take us to an ice cream shop. That's not first date material. Don't take us to Cheesecake Factory. That's not first date material. Don't take us to Olive Garden. That's not first date material. And that look was, I'm scratching my head over here because how do you put a price point on a date? How do you ask a gentleman? How do you ask someone to spend a certain amount of money on you? And it may not go beyond a 1, 2, or 3 dates. It may not go beyond that first date. Number one. And number two, if we're going to be fair about it, and if we're going to be liberated, my question would be to the young ladies who created this survey and this list of places not to go on a first date. Since you have a price point in mind, which I assume is, I would say, over $100, are you willing to spend the same thing on the gentleman? If you want this guy to go in his pocket every date, you understand, hardworking gentleman, and let's say if he's young and just starting and he's trying to manage his household finances and want go out on a date with you every month. Let's say your average price point for a date. And I saw this in fact like 2 days ago, a young lady saying that she thought that a gentleman should at least spend $250 on a date on her. Where does that come from? Where does that come from? And my question is, if you are saying that this gentleman needs to spend that, do you have the money to spend it? But this gentleman has to start building his career. He's got to pay all of his bills. He may have some other debts of his own that he has to take care of, car, running a household, et cetera, trying to save. But you go out, let's say once a week, so let's say twice a week. So go out 2 times a week. You want him to spend $200 per date. So that's $400 to $500 that you want him to spend on you in a month's time to get to know you. $500 each week times four. That's $2,000 that he's supposed to invest in you. What if that doesn't work out? So now he's got to go to the next woman and he's investing. That's nonsensical. There's sometimes, and I won't get into it here because I'm going to deal with this. So you're going to get my opinions and videos. You're going to get my opinions and some other things that I'm going to do. I'm going to be partnering with some people and we're going to deal with this. We're going to deal with it because again, some of the things that we're allowing on social media because someone has a platform and can get on there and talk and has amassed a following for ridiculous things like this. Okay, so there's somebody, I'm gonna get on there and be a voice of reason because who's determining this? A kid who has no understanding, a 24-year-old young lady who has no understanding fully of managing her own household finances, who's building right now, who doesn't have a clue, who may be still living off of her parents or living with her parents or living off of her parents. We're gonna let that person influence what really is reality because in all honesty, I'm a person who's balanced. Okay, I'm fair and balanced, but in all honesty, not every date needs to even have a dollar amount attached to it. There are times that going to get some coffee is charming. There are times that going to the park and, creating a picnic basket or, creating a basket full of goodies is charming and awesome. I'm not saying again, I'm balanced. Are we going on some dates? Yes, we're going on some dates. But am I going to make it about you spending money on me and you don't even know me, but you've got to invest a lot of money up front? I don't agree with that one, ladies and gentlemen. And I just implore you to be reasonable as it relates to that. I implore you to be reasonable. So, those are some of the things that I'm going to deal with. I'm getting in that space. And again, there are exceptions. Again, I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule, but I do want us to start thinking logically. And I do believe that people who are in my genre, I am 51 this year, so in that 50s range, there is a wisdom that comes just by simply living. Okay, not that you can't have it when you're younger, but again, if we're letting these young ladies who have not lived half their lives yet, okay, set the agenda on social media, and we're following along with the agenda. No, we've got to be leaders in this space. We've got to be leaders. We've got to have logical voices. We've got to have sensible voices to combat some of the foolery that we are seeing in that arena. So, hence, I'll go ahead and wrap it up, but I'm setting you up for something because I want you to understand what you will see from me this year. I want you to be fully aware. I want you to fully understand where I'm coming from, okay? If you listen, if you're riding with me, great. And if you say, you know what? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I want you to ride with me this year. I want you to support me. I want you to share my videos. I want you to give it to someone who you believe could benefit from it. If it's not the message that you want to hear, if it's just not any, if you don't agree with my message, no worries. We are adults. We can agree to disagree. That's the beauty of America. That's the beauty of free speech. But if you're going to rock with me, if I'm helping you, if you know someone that I can help by entering into this space, okay, into that dating arena, into the relational arena, if I can talk, if you know someone who can benefit from it, I'm asking you to share my videos, to like my posts, to bless someone with it. That's what's going to be a blessing to me, okay, as I move in this arena, because I believe that we need some rational voices. And I'm really concerned as an African American woman, I'm really concerned about some of the things that I'm seeing and hearing in my community. I've had a couple of my friends tell me, one in her early 20s, one in her early to mid 40s, and both say, these guys are not asking me out on dates. I haven't been out on a date. No one's talking to me or connecting with me in that way. That is a concern. That is a major concern to me. Major concern. Our community already has particular and special challenges, but we are entering 2024 where the majority of women feel that they are not being seen, heard, or their guys aren't asking them on dates. There's a concern there. So I want to be a resource. I want to be a blessing. You at age 50, 51, 52, you know a few things, and it really becomes incumbent upon you to and upon me, I would say, and I believe those who are in my genre, to really teach and to really share what we know. Okay, Listen and listen, all I can do is share. I can't make anybody do anything. Like I said, if you don't like it, you just put it to the side. But if you agree with it, I'm asking you to support me. You support me by sharing my videos, by liking my videos, and being a blessing to someone else with the material. That's all I'm asking for. Okay? That's what I'm asking for from you. So again, I am Kisa Sharp. I am Coach K. My website, keisasharp.com/life dash coaching. But once you start typing in keisasharp.com, it'll help you out. The internet does a wonderful thing in that way of helping us out. It'll start populating that. So want you to go to the website. You can set up some sessions with me for one-on-one coaching. And again, we get ready to move forward, y'all. I am reintroducing myself. I'm coming back in the space. I'm dealing with this because we need some wise counsel out there, okay? Because in some cases there has been a lack of it. I know a lot of good folks out there who are going hard, who are teaching the people, who are teaching women, who are teaching men, what to expect. But I believe that I need to be doing that as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So just wanted to let you know what to expect. I have some other things coming up that I'm going to share with you tomorrow night as well. Kisa Sharp, Coach K, keisasharp.com/life dash coaching. I encourage you to check out my site. And you know what? Let me do one better for you right now. I can go ahead and share the screen and show you exactly, excuse me, what that site looks like. Here we go. Um, keisasharp.com, life coaching. And I'm actually going to scroll through for you. Say hello to your best life. You can actually subscribe to my blog, okay? I introduce myself right there. So I am the coach for major life changes. Why should you hire me as a life coach? Some people are like, I don't need a coach. That's not anything that I need. Okay, okay. I'm going to talk to you a little bit there about what it means to work with a life coach, how it works. Here's some programs that we offer. You can work with me for four weeks. You can work with me for 90 days or you can work with me for 6 months. I can help you reinvent yourself. Okay. In addition to that, I am a long time media professional. Some of you, not all, because I dare not assume, but some of you may remember me and my career as a newscaster. So I started here in Birmingham 20 years ago as a newscaster. Was it 20 years ago or almost 30? Almost 30 years ago, y'all, back in 1996. So 2026 will be 30 years. So almost 30 years ago, worked at ABC 3340. So in this juncture of my life, I MC events, I host events, I'm a moderator, I'm also a media trainer. And I'm also a voiceover artist as well. Okay. So, anyway, just wanted to let you know I have a blog. I actually blog directly on LinkedIn and all of that great stuff. So, you can check out my schedule. You can get a free complimentary call. So, there are some things right there on my site, Coach K, keisasharp.com, life dash coaching. And I want to say thank you so very much. And I'm looking forward to working with you. And listen, I will say this to you as well. If there's something that you want me to deal with, do not hesitate to contact me. Do not hesitate to share. Do not hesitate to let me know what that is. Okay. I want to be a rational voice. I want to be a voice of wise counsel. And I want to be an assist to you as a life coach. Okay. I'm not doing this just to waste time. This has to work. So if there's something that I can do that you want me to do or deal with, don't hesitate. Hey, jump in my DM for that reason. I welcome that all day and night. I'll take your suggestions and your ideas. Okay. And again, remember, one of the best things that you can do to support me is to like and share my material when you see it on social media. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. And remember, I'll be back tomorrow night with part 2 of the reintroduction of Coach K, showing you what will be coming up in the year of 2024. Have a great, great evening. Bye.